Good night. Have one tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Aaron J. Spirit Divine. I'm also missing on Divine. And I'm here to give you a little shout news on tonight. Um, First we're gonna start with teachers are shoulders. School is back. And they shoulders teachers. Not only the violence, but with the COVID. Teachers are shouting to continue the school year kickoff, and we don't have a workforce. To have some teachers came back out of retirement 2 years later because of the shoulders, and that's good. They are some teachers have retired, but they coming back, to help out due to the shoulders. They're bringing back some of the teachers who may have retired and get their license renewed pretty quickly and have it that can be put in place quickly for the new teachers. So school's about to start. So the ones that retired, if they decide to come back, they're gonna try to have their license renewed, and try to have it in place quickly. EP raising pay and using federal relief funds to invest in the education workforce are critical step to solving staff shortage. You know, so we're still talking about the teachers here, and I think it's a good idea to rehire teachers who have retired and try to get their license renewed quickly. Because we need them in quick soon as possible. And two, also also you can hire um your teacher's assistant, teacher's assistant, and try to have them to step forward and get their license also. That can be a help, because they have a lot of experience from working with the teachers. And three, also post hiring teachers that posted at the job service. You can also post it at the job service. To have all, plenty teachers, plenty workers, go to job service and look at their list. So you can kind of put that on the list for hiring for teachers and let them know you need placement for teachers. Um, so I'm gonna talk to you about Amazon. Amazon have debt. It had about two debt on Amazon. And it had some before that too. So they're starting to look into it because it's they investigating the deaths at Amazon. So OSHA opened up prime filing with two more workers dead in New Jersey. So federal work safety investigation are looking into the death of an Amazon worker and the injury that potentially led to the death to another employee. So adding to a crime already, underway, following a fatal joint to company. Amnia Prime did a shopping event in July. So they've been having multiple deaths at Amazon where they already were investigating one, but then they had another one. So all three Amazon's workers died within the past month and were employed at the company faculty in the New York, Jersey. Now, the new applicant health and safety administration investigator are putting Amazon injury rate and workplace safety proceeding which labor and safety validate have long. So by they have so many deaths at Amazon, they started to look at the safe zone. The safe zone because that's a warehouse. They have to go by the safety procedure. So they're gonna try to investigate and see what is going on by they having multiple deaths at Amazon. So the Department of Labor spokesman confirmed through that the most received fatal took place last week at Amazon faculty in Monroe Township. So the second crime is looking into July the 24th. Accident at Amazon faculty in Robinville. So worker involved in that accident died 3 days later. So the warehouse called PNEF. That's the name of the warehouse. July the 24th. after received a report that a worker fell from a 3 foot ladder and struck his head. Now, they said the worker was conscious and alert when the police arrived, but the police were told that the CPR was conducted on the person by other workers prior to their arrival. Now, they said before they arrived, somebody else, one of the employees, had already given CPR. United States authority officers also investigating safety hazard in Amazon warehouse. That's what I'm saying. So now they're gonna be checking to the hazards on because you got to have safe codes at a warehouse. I used to work at a warehouse, and everything had to be safe. You had to check all them equipments and everything when you at the warehouse. So I'm sorry to hear this terrible tragedy that at Amazon. To all the family, I give my condolences and my deepest sympathy to all. Because that's too many multiple deaths at Amazon. So I have like safety tips. Amazon warehouse it being investigated for his zone for safety. One, check all the equipment and ladders before being used, because one of the workers fell off the ladder. Check all the equipment before y'all use any equipment. I used to work at a warehouse, so I know how it go. You have to check all the equipment. Each shift that come on, you have to check the equipment. Make sure you check them ladders. Make sure someone fell off a 3 foot ladder. So check those ladders. Check all your equipment before being used. And two, you in a warehouse, so make sure the temperature is right. So they said someone had was unconscious and was weak and all that. So two, you in the warehouse, make sure the temperature is right and make sure there is water for y'all and for all the employees. Make sure there is water. So three, be careful by any moving machine. If y'all got machines that you're working with, you know, on the machine, make sure y'all be careful by those machines. Make sure you have water and make sure you check all the equipment and labs. So that's the tips for Amazon. Okay, so let's talk about the immigrants. The immigrants is trapped. They're killing us. They say they is killing us. Immigrants is trapped on a tiny island, begging for help. So, Agree Human Rights Organization has called an authority to help dozens of immigrants who is said have been stranded on a tiny river island on the border between Greece and Turkey. So they between two countries, Greece and Turkey. So a young girl among the desperate people that was reported killed by the scorpions this week. So the 5-year-old, the 9-year-old was very sick after possibly also being stung. So they have been stuck there for more than 20 days. They've been stuck there more than 20 days. They have not had access to food or clean water. They're calling for help. It's difficult to survive. There's refugees also recording has sent to the news. So they're like refugees on this island between both of those countries. So they call out for help and it reached to the CBS News. So the police told the AP that coordinating provide for the immigrants that were outside Greece and that they had asked neighboring Turkey to provide urgent assistance to the group of 40 people. So push back when the people are forced back into the country. They came from without being allowed to claim are illegal under international law. So both Greece and Turkey, they had denied the previous accusation. They denied it. The immigrant refugees that trapped on the islands that have already been pushed back and forth between the two countries. So I hope someone can go and save them save the immigrants that's over there is crying out for help. That's between between two countries, trapped as refuge on a small island. So I hope someone can go and try to save them over there because they say they have 5-year-old and a 9-year-old got stuck by a scorpion. So we talk about the teachers, the shorter teachers. They shorter teachers, and it's a good idea that you rehire the ones that had went who had retired. So it's good for them to come back on, renew their license, and hurry up and get back in place. So it's a good idea that you rehire the teachers that have retired. So they can renew their license and get in place quickly. Also the teachers, also you can hire the teachers assistant. And have them to step up forward and have them to get on if they want to get their own license also, and you can put them in place so they should have plenty experience from working side by side with the teachers. And three, also post hiring teachers at job search, and they can post it on their board. So we talk about Amazon. Amazon have multiple deaths at the warehouse. You had someone fell off the ladder. You just had all kind of multiple death accident. Died 3 days later. You know, and then a warehouse. Someone had fell off the ladder and struck his head. So the police report that someone else, the employee, gave CPR before they even got there. And I did have some safety tips. To check all the equipment in the ladder before being used. And also in the warehouse, make sure you have make sure the temperature is right, and make sure you have water for all the employees. And three, be careful um, by a moving machine. Sometimes you might be working on a machine, putting the products through the machine and stuff, and sometimes you can get hurt. So be careful on baggy clothes and jewelry and stuff, so it won't get hooked on the machine. So we also talk about the immigrant is trapped on a small island, and is trapped as refugees. It's about more than 20 people on that island. So they're also between two countries, Greece and Turkey. So they're between two countries, and they have over 20 people, 20 immigrants that's there. And they say already the 5-year-old and the 9-year-old got stung by a scorpion. You know, so they call it out for help, and they say it's hard for them to survive because they haven't been having food or water since they been trapped. So police had told the AP that to provide for the immigrants. The outside Greece and Turkey, so they between two countries. So they pushed back, forced back into the country, and they came from without being allowed to claim. So that's why they pretty much trapped, because it was like, without being allowed, they was not allowed. It's legal under international law. So they between Greece and Turkey. But both countries denied the previous accusation. So the immigrants that rescued trapped on the island. And they calling out for help because they say they're killing them. If the people ain't killing them, they're getting stuck by scorpions. So I hope someone can go and save the immigrants. Save them on that small island. Since they have small children along with them that already is getting stung and getting sick out there on that island. So these immigrants is trapped as refugees on a small island between two countries, Greece and Turkey. So I'm gonna be praying on them for safety, to get home safety. So that's all the short news I have for you on today. Have a blessed night, and I'll see you on the next video.